Hey there, it's Fabienne. Cash flow is on a lot of people's minds these days, as is toilet paper. And there are people who are doing fine because they've had some resources, financial resources for 3, 6 months in the bank, but other people are feeling really pinched by what we're experiencing with this virus. And we are giving resources to all of the Bold Heart business members and finding ways for them to pivot, and morale is really high. And I'm thankful for that. And there's people who are still panicking. And I want you to know that there are lots of different options for you to increase your cash flow right now. So I'd like to give you some things to think about today and also some resources because governments are stepping in to help cash flow for businesses. So first, some resources. The whole idea here is I would like for you to pivot your mindset and avoid saying, I can't do business in this climate, and instead ask yourself, how can I do business in this climate? One of the things I'd like for you to think about is different ways of offering what you do, perhaps online. If you can pivot online, use a platform like Zoom.us or Skype. Perhaps if you can't be with the people, if you're used to seeing people in person, maybe from the comfort of your home, you can begin selling your products online with a Facebook Live a day, for example, QVC style. Several of our members have flipped from in-person sessions of, an esthetician will now sell her products by doing a Facebook Live a day or several times a day, IGTV on Instagram, Facebook, I mentioned that. There's lots of different ways for you to think about doing this. You could document everything you do and do a train the trainer, create a course for other people in your industry and sell that online also by using social media to promote it. On a resources level, you can apply for a 0% APR credit card online. You can go to creditcards.com or just really do a Google search and just build in that buffer. If we know that we have, let's say, 10,000 on a credit card and we just know that that's there, even if we typically like to be responsible with our money and not rely on credit cards, maybe that's not a bad idea. Call your bank, see if you can get a loan or an equity line of credit. There are lots of actions you can take. We've been sharing with our members that now is a good time to write a low-hanging fruit list of everyone that has expressed interest in working with you over the last, let's say, couple of years, but aren't yet clients. And believe it or not, people are still doing business right now. It's not like the whole business world has stopped. They're just doing business differently. We're still signing up clients, thankfully, and there are ways for you to continue doing that. So make a list, but instead of sending them an email, pick up the phone. Let's bring in the humanity of this. Pick up the phone and ask them genuinely how they're doing. What we've noticed is that sometimes the people that follow you need you now more than ever. And receiving a genuine phone call from you rather than a blanket autoresponder email really makes a difference. You can, if your rates are elevated in these times, you can offer to stretch out the payments longer, make the initial 2 or 3 months really long. Sometimes people are saying, some of our members are now pivoting and signing up new clients. The client signs a contract, but the first month is free. The second month is a little bit more. The third month is a little bit more. It's not that you can't sell in this environment. It's how you do it. I did a half-day session a few days ago and inviting people to come to my mindset retreat online happening in May. And from the very first set of slides, I said I was going to cancel this mindset intensive half day, because the whole purpose of this is to give you a taste of my mindset retreat. And you may not want to come, and I'm very aware that this could seem like I'm ambulance chasing or being opportunistic. But we heard women were calling in saying, are you doing the mindset retreat online? Because if so, now I'm ready to buy a ticket. People are still buying things. Maybe not everybody, but people are still buying things. I would recommend making a list of 50, and yes, I mean 50 ways for you to make money alternatively, in a different way, or think about those ideas that you've had in the past that you didn't action. Think about actioning them now. These are all some different ways of looking at making money. And then if you live in the US, and there's some countries offering this right now, if you live in the US, the government has passed a bill to provide if I understand correctly, $2 trillion in relief, and more than 300 billion of that is for business owners. You can apply to have, they call it the Corona COVID-19 relief fund. And I don't know much about this. This is not my this is not my wheelhouse, but I know that this is something that a lot of our members are taking advantage of. And I believe that you can get a loan. Some of it is forgivable. Some aspects of it, you get $10,000. It's not for me to paint the whole picture for you, because you don't want me giving you those details. But I would recommend that you do your due diligence. Go to SBA.gov, which stands for the Small Business Administration, SBA.gov. You can go to, I wrote it down right here, COVID-19 relief.sba.gov. Just do your research. And if you're not like me, if you're not a big research person and a lot of things like this seem complicated, tap someone you know on the shoulder, figuratively speaking, and say, can you please help me figure this out? Call your bookkeeper, call your accountant, call that friend who's numbers focused, and we can sort things out. Let's build in some buffer for you so you can keep your team members if you have them. You can keep marketing. You can keep things afloat. Let's just get resourceful, okay? I'm sending you so much love. See you next time.